On January 27, the U.S. Air Force has selected 5 companies, including Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, General Atomics and Anduril, to participate in the Cooperative Combat Aircraft (CCA) project. The first batch of aircraft will be put into service before 2030, which will be earlier than the 6th-generation aircraft (NGAD). Taking into account the fact that the B-21 strategic bomber, which made its maiden flight in November last year, has begun low-speed mass production, it is clear that the U.S. Air Force has a complex and urgent mood for the transformation of air power. The 4th-generation aircraft is too old, the 5th-generation aircraft is too few, and the 6th-generation aircraft will take too long to wait. Only CCA is needed. After World War II, the fighters developed and equipped by the U.S. Air Force were almost all based on the Soviet Union's similar aircraft of the same period as the imaginary enemy. The F-35 is the first major project that does not take the Soviet Union as its imaginary enemy. The United States originally planned to build a multi-purpose 5th-generation aircraft with a cost close to that of a 4th-generation aircraft and that could replace most fighter jets of the 3 armed forces. But in the end it was burdened by technical problems and high costs, and the reality was far from the original design goals. The many problems exposed in the F-35 project were largely caused by the lack of goals. That is, the disappearance of the Soviet Union caused the U.S. military and contractors at all levels to be unable to match the expected indicators with costs and technologies. When the project was launched, the United States, as the only superpower, won the Gulf War and the Kosovo War successively. The invincible state of the U.S. military made equipment research and development have no goals. Although the U.S. military invests huge military expenditures every year, its military strength, especially the Air Force strength, is relatively declining. The reference is China. With China's rapid rise, the Chinese Air Force has added a large number of advanced fighters. Its Air Force consists of J-20, J-16, J-10 and KJ-500 early warning aircraft. Its force size and technology are enough to challenge the U.S. Air Force in the Indo-Pacific region. In contrast, the U.S. Air Force has only 179 old F-15CD and 185 F-22 air superiority fighters. About 20 of the F-22s are training, testing or spare inventory aircraft. As of the end of fiscal year 2022, the U.S. Air Force has only 334 F-35s. The number of F-35s in service in 2023 is 40, about half of the original annual procurement volume, which is also largely due to budget shortfalls. Therefore, the U.S. Air Force has less than 800 air superiority fighters in service. Even more poor is the AWACS unit, which is still using the E-3, which has been in service for more than 40 years. It was only last year that it decided to purchase the E-7 AWACS, but it will take several years for the new AWACS to join the unit. Based on realistic challenges, the U.S. Air Force has readjusted its goals. First, in the 2 projects of bomber B-21 and fighter NGAD, it chose to develop bombers first. In the vast Indo-Pacific theater, the combat radius and large bomb bay of large platforms are more advantageous than small platforms. Even in air-to-air combat, large platforms have the potential to be converted into arsenal aircraft, and these almost indicate that NGAD will be larger than the current F-22. It can be said that the B-21 is the first fighter jet tailored specifically for China. Then in the 2 projects of manned 6th-generation aircraft, NGAD and CCA, choose to develop CCA first. This shows that the U.S. military seeks asymmetric combat capabilities. The current U.S. military can no longer deal with China with aircraft against aircraft, missile against missile, or ship against ship as it did with the Soviet Union, because the United States no longer has enough funds, personnel and time to do this. CCA is a major project launched by the U.S. military against China in this context. So what exactly is CCA? Many people simply understand it as a drone, or an unmanned wingman accompanying a fighter, which is not accurate. In the official documents of the U.S. military, CCI has a keyword AI. That is, the U.S. Air Force developed CCA to open the door to AI warfare. AI is the key to CCA. Should not be simply understood as a traditional drone. Traditional drones require people to control the various actions of drones in the background terminal, while AI-enabled CCA is designed to operate autonomously and perform a series of tasks such as reconnaissance, analysis, and fire strikes. CCA can act with manned aircraft, perform tasks assigned by pilots, and cooperate with other drones. Usually, we can block the data link connection between traditional drones and background terminals through electronic interference, or even directly attack their background terminals to eliminate the threat of hostile drones, but this method has little effect on CCA. In the Boyd cycle of military operations, the chains of observation, judgment, decision, and action on the OODA observation, judgment, decision, action loop have not changed, but the characteristics of actions in the era of intelligent warfare have changed greatly. Now the United States and China have perfect satellite reconnaissance systems, and the observation capabilities of both sides have reached the same level. The battlefield tends to be two-way and full-time transparent. No one can have much advantage in the first O observation of OODA. Only in the second O judgment can the two sides compete. The combat confrontation has advanced from the 4 links of OODA to the 2 links of OD judgment and decision-making. Obviously, CCA is to take the lead in the 2 links of judgment decision-making, disrupting the time and probability of the enemy making correct decisions in these 2 links. Once successful, it will be the first to fire and destroy the enemy. CCA can also be seen as a sign that the US military bids farewell to platform-centric warfare and transitions from network-centric warfare to decision-centric warfare. Decision-centric warfare is the new combat concept of the US military in the era of intelligent warfare. The core of this concept is to provide more optional combat plans for the commanders of the side through the large-scale deployment of unmanned distributed combat systems with artificial intelligence and autonomous systems as key technical support. At the same time, it imposes highly complex cognitive obstacles on the enemy, making it difficult for them to make decisions to deal with this complex battlefield situation. Decision-making center warfare is very likely to rise to the strategic level of the US military. The decision-making dilemma formed by its complex effect chain will pose the most severe challenge to the opponent's defense system. In the future, the US military will build an air battlefield based on CCA in the airspace of the first and second island chains. Build a forest of CCA in the Asia-Pacific region. Enemy aircraft may be able to suppress US aircraft in terms of local force strength and the quality of individual platforms, but they are likely to get lost in the face of the huge CCA forest and get lost in every judgment. Or even if it doesn't get lost, CCA will act as the eyes and fists of the US military's manned aircraft and take the lead in firing at a longer distance. In short, CCA will pose a great challenge to the judgment and decision-making of enemy fighters and air defense systems. The US Air Force once stated that the current CCA development work is parallel, carrying out 3 tasks: developing the platform itself, developing the software to run CCA, and carrying out organization, training, equipment, and supply work. It is relatively easy to develop the platform itself, that is, the hardware of the aircraft, and there are many ready-made solutions. Previously, the US Air Force displayed several CCA aircraft models, including General Atomics Gambit drone, Kratos, Demigorgon drone, and XQ-58A drone, Boeing's NQ-28A drone, and Blue Force Technologies. In September 2022, the U.S. General Atomic Aerospace Systems has released a concept map of the Gambit series of drones, targeting the CCA project. Because of its high versatility, good configurability, and low overall cost, it has become a strong competitor for the CCA project. As for the software that CCA relies more on, it should be the top priority of the project. At present, the U.S. Air Force is conducting several related test projects, which will provide a lot of data analysis for CCA tests. These projects include Skyborg project led by the U.S. Air Force Research Laboratory, an autonomous drone developed based on the XQ-58 drone. Viper project exploring the use of 6 F-16 fighters form an unmanned collaborative combat mode. An X-62 AVISDA project modify an F-16 fighter to explore the maneuvers and tactics of autonomous aircraft and be able to simulate the behavior of various preset aircraft. Skyborg is one of the pioneering projects focused on by the U.S. Air Force Research Laboratory. It aims to combine drone autonomous technology with an open mission architecture to form an artificial intelligence-driven brain that can be applied to unmanned wingmen and fully autonomous unmanned fighters, thereby achieving efficient combat of manned and manned aircraft formations. The project strives to provide a set of technical prototype kits to make autonomous drones more mission adaptable. The Skyboard project emphasizes openness, elasticity, and autonomy. Openness means that its intelligent kit can be flexibly transplanted to other types of drones and become their intelligent hub. The U.S. Air Force said that the system may also be used in manned fighters in the future to serve as the co-pilot of fighters, improving the decision-making ability and response speed of the entire air combat system. Flexibility focuses on the system's ability to operate normally in an environment with GPS interference and ensure reliable positioning, navigation, and timing PNT capabilities. Autonomy enables the unmanned wingman to independently complete a range of tasks, from simple takeoff landing to more complex tasks, including analysis of various situational factors and independent decision-making. A drone equipped with this system can operate in coordination with manned aircraft as a loyal wingman, or it can complete tasks independently as a fully autonomous fighter. The second Viper project is to test the effect of installing automatic flight software on the F-16 variable stabilizer, which will provide a flying autonomous test for the development of CCA. The program will reduce the risk of CCA by testing demonstrating autonomous reference architectures and autonomous skills on manned aircraft. Provide project management on testing support for mature autonomous architectures and software before transitioning to CCA. In addition, in order to promote the development of CCA, the U.S. Air Force has vigorously developed modeling and simulation tools to study the ability of drones to cooperate with manned aircraft and to fight alone. Develop the next generation of autonomous technology to respond to electronic attacks and predict behavior when operating in communication interruptions, degradation, or intermittent environments. In the past, intelligence personnel could judge the air superiority capability of a fighter jet based on its technical indicators, or even aerodynamic layout. But it was difficult to judge its overall combat effectiveness based on the technical indicators and appearance of a single CCA platform. This is because the key combat power of CCA lies in AI empowerment, and the three major factors that determine the level of AI capabilities are algorithms, computing power, and data, all of which are difficult to quantify. Algorithms are a set of clear instructions written by software developers to enable computers to perform tasks. On April 260, 2017, the U.S. Department of Defense officially established the Algorithmic Warfare Cross-Functional Group, marking that the concept of algorithmic warfare has been officially recognized by the U.S. military. Computing power is determined by the performance of chips and servers. The relationship between algorithms, computing power, and data is that if AI is compared to a person, then the algorithm is its IQ, computing power is its brain organization, and data is the signal provided by the outside world. The existence and operation of the three constitute a perfect closed loop. The essence of the Gulf War is chips, the essence of the Russian-Ukrainian war is the network, and the essence of future wars will be AI, but chips and networks are equally important. The military competition between China and the United States is no longer a simple competition in the military industry, but a comprehensive competition in almost all dual-use technology fields represented by artificial intelligence technology. In essence, it is a competition in high-tech industries and talent innovation capabilities. Using the WASP in our arrangement as a weapon, the United States has done its utmost to obstruct the development of a number of Chinese companies in order to take the initiative in the field of dual-use technologies. Over the years, through the United States, clicks in international affairs and the innovative achievements of technology companies such as Apple, Nvidia, OpenAI, and SpaceX, we have seen the essence of the United States in diplomacy, technology, and other fields, that is, to be the leader in formulating rules on establishing industrial ecology in major areas that are related to the lifeline of human development. In the military field, the F-22 fighter has formulated the 4S technical standards for the fifth-generation aircraft, and CCA is also building a transformative air combat ecology for future air combat. Perhaps some people are still stuck in the grand scenes of the mechanized warfare era, but the reality is that information warfare is about to evolve into AI warfare. CCA will prompt major military powers to build their own unmanned system forests, which will be the new focus of the future arms race. Once the future war is a contest between the forest of unmanned systems, the scale and significance of the existence of human soldiers and manned combat platforms will become insignificant. In the era of competition between the United States and the Soviet Union, the United States built an informationized force and fought the Gulf War that shocked the world in 1991. After the disintegration of the Soviet Union, the US military lost its direction until the rise of China in recent years, when the US military took the lead in building AI forces. It can be seen that having an opponent is not a bad thing.